It's a big TV, Vicky.
It's a bit excessive.
Everyone's very impressed with your giant TV. What is happening, everybody? Hello. It's Sunday Live Haul here at the, I don't know what we do, the Katy and Vicky Manch.
We've been calling it the Manch. We said, welcome to the Manch.
Anyway, what's happening, everybody? This is our Sunday show. We took last week off. It was a big mistake. We took it off for Easter Sunday. And let's just say bottomless mimosas, not the best idea. What is happening back there? So they're all like, oh, we don't want to be on camera.
Shown, but
well, maybe you shouldn't be making any noise, girls. Anyway. So anyway, it was a big mistake, but we've fully recovered. And this weekend we actually have Deb and Mel here staying with us with their pups, their 3 pups. So we have a full house of tiny dogs.
We have 6 little tiny yippers downstairs.
Yep. And then we also have Dawn and Lori who are visiting from out of town and trying to hide.
That's Dawn.
Yep. Trying to hide.
Lori's hiding even more.
Yep.
That's Lori.
And then we have Corey who's really hiding.
Corey's like way in the corner. Yeah. An arm.
So they're here to hang out, and then we're doing a little cookout in the backyard.
And Deb and Mel are downstairs.
Yes.
We put them to work. They're hanging out in the garage.
Here's the thing. Deb was going to help me for what we thought would maybe be an hour or so in the garage yesterday, hanging our storage racks in the garage. But it turns out that we don't know what happened when they built this house. We're pretty sure it's being held up by magic and not any kind of studs or anything like that.
It's air.
It's just we're pretty sure there's an air conditioning duct up above the garage,
and only an air conditioning duct. No studs, no beams.
No beams. We don't know. It's been crazy. And Deb has like almost 10 years of construction experience, so she's doing some solutioning.
Some solutioning,
some problem solving, figuring that out, but being amazing and getting our ceiling racks up for us right now.
Yeah, it's
because she's basically now has declared that she will not rest until she gets it done.
She will not rest until she makes that ceiling rack her bitch. That's pretty much
it. Yep. So it's been fun. It's been fun. Anyway, so it's quite the party here, and I got lights up in the garage. I got lights up in the backyard, so. Now we're ready to barbecue, and we're gonna play some cornhole because that's what middle-aged women like to do when they get together.
We sports,
and drink and
we
play
sports.
Yes. That's what we do.
Drink and cornhole. We learned nothing from last weekend. Anyway,
you may have learned nothing from last weekend.
True.
I'm gonna be drinking my vitamin water and playing.
Well, and then here's the other thing. So Vicky goes to get groceries, and she's like, "I'm gonna pick up some White Claw." And all of a sudden she brings me back
what middle-aged women drink at cookouts,
right? It's like your low calorie. I mean, it's usually about
seltzer water.
Usually about the same alcohol content as like a regular beer, whatever. I look at this White Claw, and it's like White Claw Surge. And it's like this black can.
It was a new flavor.
Blue can. Let me show this. So I'm like, White Claw Surge. What the heck is that? And I look at it. Vicky's just like, oh, it's a new flavor. And I look at it. It's like 8% alcohol. And I told her, I'm like, that's 8%. So you might want to watch it, or you're going to have a repeat of last Sunday, and you're not going to be happy about it. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. So we're doing the show. I'm assuming we're not doing a show next week because we're going to be in Rhode Island.
We are not doing a show next week. We're terrible YouTubers,
sorry,
guys. I'm sorry.
So we are leaving early Tuesday morning this week, going to Boston to hang out with more reseller friends. We're going to be able to see Trish and Diane and Julie. F and Julie. We'll be there for a few days, and then we're going to be in Rhode Island for a little more.
5 days with my family and friends. Yeah.
We're going to be gone for just a little over a week, and then we'll be back. So, yeah. Geez.
Deb and Mel will come up and show their faces, Tommy. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you will. You said you would. I hear from downstairs. We will.
Anyway, but we do have a show today. And it's just like any other show. We break it into 3 parts. The first one, we look at our real numbers for the last week, just our gross numbers across all our platforms. We look at some of our costs, the fees, cost of goods, which of course is the most important when you want to see what we're really doing. And in the second part of the show, we look at some sales highlights, some cool stuff that we sold over the last week, either some big ticket items or something we think is cool or educational. And then the last part, we look at any hauls that we did over the last week, which you had to dig a little bit because you didn't really do
I
any
didn't source this
sourcing.
week. Yeah.
You did do a little bit last week, but a lot of that's already with Crystal. I did go to yesterday's fits, so I've got some pretty cool stuff. I bought a few things off of Whatnot. I've been doing a little dabbling, a little toe dipping in the Whatnot and buying stuff. And I actually just got approved to be a seller on Whatnot. I don't know when that's
ready.
Yeah, I got approved in so listen, Whatnot.
They pushed you through.
We'll talk about this more in the future. And just a little preview, we are going to have a session on Whatnot at the Boss Reseller Remix. But Whatnot, which I would normally be like kicking and screaming, being dragged towards it, which I guess I kind of am. There's like a 5-week wait to be approved as a seller. You have to apply, you have to show them what you sell, blah, blah, blah. But Jesse from yesterday's fits has been doing it now for a few weeks and has sold well over 1,000 items and caught their eye. And they had him on a Zoom call to kind of get his feedback on new features. And so he actually gave them my information and asked if they could push me through. And dude, it within a few hours.
Apparently Jesse and Austin have got some pull in
Whatnot.
It's
crazy. A few hours. So
that's more than the pull we have at eBay, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But if you were thinking about Whatnot, just get the app and sign up for it and check it out because it's definitely a good place to source. So
Britt says, I can't believe you took my photo down. My pretty face would have been perfectly placed between you two. Yeah, that is the wall.
I found it in the garbage, Britt, and I said, what are you doing? That is
I put one of the two in the garbage. How many pictures of Britt do
you want to know why she has? Listen, you want to know why the second one hasn't been put in the garbage? Because she hasn't found it yet.
Because now Katy is hiding them throughout the house. So thanks, Britt. Thanks a lot.
All right. Should we go ahead and get our show started?
I did want to say, Dana, House of Rocks is in the chat. So thank you. Dana came over last night and dog sat all the puppies so that we could go out with Mel and Deb. We did an extended birthday celebration for Katy. It was Katy's birthday last week. And we went out and hung out and had a night on the town. They have 2 medically fragile dogs, so 2 of the 3. So they really can't be left alone for long periods of time to go out. Maybe if you had to run to the grocery store for 20 minutes, they could do it. But so they do need a person in the house. So Dana came over and was the puppy sitter sent from heaven. She's awesome. If you are in the Las Vegas area and you need a dog sitter or a house sitter, contact House of Rocks.
Yep.
There's my commercial for you, Dana.
There you go. All right. You ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me move this over here. And
I see Greg Dupage Picker in the chat.
Dupage Picker.
Greg is, I'm sure he can answer for himself, but we chatted a bit this week. He is doing well. He is a good 50% through all of his treatments. And, things are looking on the upside. I mean, chemo and radiation is really gross, and there's no question that I'm sure he feels like total garbage. But he's doing well, and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So all of that is good stuff.
I want to know what Haven Bros is that I need to be drunk to go to.
You really do need to be drunk to go there. Haven Brothers is an Airstream diner that hangs out downtown Providence that you go at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning after you leave a club.
All right.
And it's diner food that they serve out of it's a food truck before food trucks were cool.
I can dig it. We actually bowled at an Airstream yesterday at the Silverton Casino last night with Deb and Mel. They have it's an Airstream bowling alley that has 2 little tiny lanes, and you use it's like with the duck pin, and it's got the little ball. Anyway, it's fun. All right. For reals, we're going to get started now. Let me share the screen. We'll start on my numbers. It's not bad, not terrible. I'm like, for the amount of work, or I guess the very small amount of work I've been able to do over the last month and a half and what's coming, I got to say, I'm okay with my numbers because, man, I haven't been able to list.
We still haven't buckled down yet.
But it's how can we? We have constant stuff going on, and we have all this travel that we already had planned before we moved. I mean, that's why we were kind of panicked about the whole moving thing. We already had all these trips planned. And so, so we're trying to get work done and keep our numbers at least something respectable.
And this is the second time. This is the exact same time last year that Lori and Dawn visited Las Vegas, and it happened to be 2 days before we were going to Rhode Island.
They like to show up right when we're about to go out of town.
They want to avoid us, so they come and they make it work so that there's only one possible day that we can see them before we go away.
So rude.
And then they can easily say, "Well, sorry, we tried. We were there." They want to have plausible deniability.
Pretty much.
And they're only stuck with us for one day. That's really what it is.
Yep. All right. So this is for the week ending yesterday. So the 23rd. So this is from last Sunday to yesterday. I had 16 eBay orders, 10 between Etsy and Thrilling. Half of those were on Thrilling. Instagram, nothing. Grailed Mercari were 5. One of those orders was Mercari. So a total of 31 outgoing orders. So okay. eBay definitely still slow for eBay. $1,351.75. I really want to be able to hit two. I don't even remember the last time I had. It's been a little while since I had 2,000 in 1 week on eBay. Etsy and Thrilling together, $1,092.90. Thrilling, $388. It's been going okay there. Instagram, nothing again. Grailed Mercari together, $408.99. 136 of that was Mercari. So my total gross sales almost hit 3,000.
That's a good week.
Yeah,
for you.
not bad. But eBay, man, come on. $2,853.
eBay is circling the drain, I'm telling you.
It's still my top seller, but come on. It's not,
depressing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, $140.50 for shipping. And then you can see the breakdown of the fees across the different platforms for my total cost there. Cost of goods, $380. So my net total sales just barely squeaking by with over $2,025.32. My gross average sale price was actually awesome. I had some really good high dollar amount items sell. So $92.05. My goal is always to be 70 and above. So $92.05, awesome.
$92 as an average sale price is pretty flipping good.
Yeah, I definitely sold some cheap stuff, but I had a lot of like over $100 items. So my net average sale price $65.33. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. I just took a bunch of pictures because I'd run out of stuff to list. I'm gonna hope that while we're on our trip that maybe I can get a couple listings a day, just because I'm like, we've spent so much time and so many days doing nothing.
There's a reason why I haven't touched my drafts that Crystal did last week, because I want to do the same thing. So,
and honestly, usually when I don't know about when we're in Boston, but usually when we're in Rhode Island, we kind of have a routine where we can get up in the morning and we do have like a 45 minutes, an hour. We can do a handful of listings. It's not that bad. So
we have done some live shows from Rhode Island. Those of you that watched this for a while know that. I don't think we're going to be able to on Sunday because we're actually going to be traveling to spend time with friends and family on Sunday. So I don't think we'll be able to do a live show unless we might be able to do it if we did one early in the morning. If we did it at like 9 o'clock Rhode Island time, which would be
maybe, but I don't know if we're going to be doing any sourcing. I don't know.
We're not doing any sourcing.
Yeah. So
I mean, unless we source.
How about this? If we happen to do one, because who knows, we might end up picking up a few things here or there. If we do one, it won't be. We're gonna skip the formatting and just do a show and show some stuff if we got it.
Yeah, we might do that on. It would be Sunday morning.
But it would be like a pared down version of our show. We wouldn't do the whole rigmarole. So
we'll let you know.
No promises, guys. No promises, because honestly, I've coined the phrase Rhode Island tired, and I imagine that Boston / Rhode Island tired is probably worse than just Rhode Island tired. I'm gonna be real tired. So
see, Mel, I told you she calls it Rhode Island tired.
Yep.
She just did it.
It's true. I get real tired. Although the last time we went, I actually did manage to take a nap every single day that we were there. So it was nice.
This is vacation, and our vacations are not vacations. Our vacations are always spent with friends running crazy.
Doing stuff.
Trying to fit everybody in. When I go back home once a year generally. And of course, I'm fortunate. I have a lot of great friends and family, and they'll want to spend time with me, but they don't all know each other. So it's like, I can't just have one big, huge thing. So you're spending the time running around trying to see everybody.
Yep. And by the way, real quick, while we're speaking of traveling, we are going to be in Florida in the Tampa area mid-late May. And so just a heads up, we'll be making an announcement or making an actual event soon. I believe it's going to be on the 21st of May, which is a Saturday.
The 21st, 2:00.
But we'll give you all the information. We're just giving you a heads up for those of you that are in Florida. If you want to make plans, we're going to have a meetup
at Epperson Lagoon.
Yep, which is
going to be where Casey lives. Casey Rockstar Flipper lives.
Yep.
So it's a big
kind of resort area,
resort development. Yeah, where he lives.
They have a couple of swim up bars and all that kind of stuff. So it should be really fun. But we will be making like an official, it'll probably be like a Facebook event. So hopefully
we're going to try to turn it into a Facebook event so that people know to come. But and it's going to be with Casey.
If you're not on Facebook, maybe get in contact with us.
Casey, Rockstar Flipper, and we'll be with Ryan and Allie, Rally Roots, and Katy and myself, because we'll all be hanging out. And of course, Callie will be there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So
if you're in the Florida area
or close enough that you want to come and hang with us on that day, just mark it off on your calendar.
Cheryl, you don't need to reserve the whole week, honey. Just Saturday afternoon. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at your numbers now. Here we go. What you got? What you got?
All right. So I did 36 eBay sales, getting closer to where they used to be. 12 sales between Etsy and Thrilling. I did 6 on each. Etsy was actually a little slow for me this week. 14 on Poshmark. Hallelujah. The last 2 weeks, Poshmark has woken up.
It's weird.
It's back to normal for me.
And what have you done differently?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So don't say it was me. It was them. Poshmark, it's not me. It's you.
Yeah.
But they woke up. And 2 orders on Mercari for a total of 64 for the week. I did 2308.08 on eBay.
Look at you.
626.99 between Etsy and Thrilling. I don't remember what the breakdown is there, but not great. And 646 on Poshmark, which is back to normal. 122 on Mercari with those 2 sales for a good week. 3,700 and
Very good.
That's a good week for me. 3,500 and higher is where I strive to be. So 3,700. So shipping $292 and change, and then they've got all my fees: eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari, Thrilling, blah blah blah. All the fees. Total cost of goods relatively low per usual, $254, and my total net sales just under $2,700 for the week.
Very
My
nice.
gross average sale price just about $58.
Very good. Very good. All right. So yeah, those are the breakdown of our numbers. And again, I'm hoping, I mean, this is going to be an extra long trip for us. I think we figured out that we have to I'm extending my handling. I'm not doing the time away because it never works for me. I mean, technically it works on eBay as far as
but it kills your sales.
It kills my sales. So I'm going to extend my handling.
I am too this time.
And this time we have to extend it like 7 days because of the way that we
tend to go back in and change it every couple of days to shorten the window too. But
but it's kind of a pain in the ass, but I'd rather do that. And so I'm really hoping that our numbers are going to be okay.
I'm going to do that tonight. Actually, we've got to change our handling time tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get rid of these. All right. Next up, we are going to any comments or any questions?
I don't know. The
from
peanut gallery is very chatty back there.
Yeah.
Very chatty.
So rude.
They haven't seen each other either. So we're all like,
what's going on, guys? Do you have any any input? Any
chairs
comments, or
see?
There's no 7 days away. Yeah, it's 5 or 10 days away on eBay. There is no handling time for 7.
Oh, okay. Just 5 or 10. Sorry.
We have to change it to 10.
So okay, so you hold on, move. You guys are on your away right now. How do you handle your? Do you do time away? What do you do?
I have time away and I change my handling time because every time I do time away, it catches up with me and something falls through the cracks.
Okay.
So I do both.
Yeah.
Mine's just time away.
And now have you guys sold anything? It's going okay?
I put it on time away Friday night, and yesterday morning sold something before I left. So it actually kind of woke it up.
All right.
I think that's what happens when you change your handling time too.
I sold a blazer I was planning to bring with me to wear out here.
All right.
But yeah, I did.
All right.
I sold it right before I left. So
All
I
right.
didn't even have time to ship it.
I was going to say,
pack it.
you should have packed it and shipped it when you got here.
I could have. I know people that have shipping.
You
supplies.
do. A handful anyway.
Yeah, Greg says that changing his handling time it works for him better too.
Yeah.
So.
See, Greg's store is still open. By the way, anybody that did not know, we have shared the GoFundMe for Greg quite a bit. But Greg has kept his store open and kept it, I think, on 7 days handling time. And his brother has been helping him ship. He's not able to list anything new, but it's at least some activity in his store. If you want to buy something from Greg, he's got some really, really cool collectibles.
Oh yeah, he does.
He really does have some very cool stuff.
Sometimes he posts something that he sold, and I'm like, how did I not know he had that?
Right.
Something that I wanted.
Something cool. So if you follow him on Instagram, it's just the name that you see there, DuPage Picker. We call it DuPage, but it's DuPage Picker. And his link to his stores are in his bio. And it's always great if you want to support another seller.
Absolutely.
Especially because, as we know, as we've talked about, Greg is battling cancer and he is unable to work right now. And he is, anything that you can do to help would help him. He's going to focus on getting well right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that he can move back here.
Indeed. So Allison wants to know if the accommodations here are satisfactory. She says she's asking for a friend.
Well, you'd have to ask Deb and Mel because
Deb and Mel are downstairs. So
they've been here for 2 nights so far. So
yeah. Mel says it's excellent. So they
They bumped our reservations, so we don't know.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't. I haven't thrown away anything that belongs to Deb or Mel yet.
No, it's true. Yet.
I said yet.
Now I will. Well, I will say that she threw away all of the shampoo that we had in our guest bathroom when we moved,
True.
and then of course, as soon as we had our first guest, I couldn't find any shampoo to give. I found one tiny little thing of shampoo to give them.
That's true.
Yeah, because
Sorry about that.
which especially when she throws something away, immediately we need it.
Mhm.
I will say, Allison, they were having some trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi on the smart TV in the guest room. I was able to get to work, so it could have been user error,
Might have been.
But then they got to work at the second night, so they're all good watching old ER reruns. So I think it's not bad. It's not bad. All right, let's go ahead and look at our sales highlights. Starting with you, Vic. What do you got going on?
So these are just some cool boots that I picked up. I picked up a huge bulk buy a few weeks ago from a friend of ours that had actually cleaned out an estate for someone. I think I paid like around $2 to $3 an item. I had like 3 huge contractor bags full of stuff. This was one of the things. So $2 to $3 I paid for these. Nothing special, no fantastic name,
I
just
think they're pretty fancy.
vintage 80s red cowboy boots. They sold 3 hours after I listed them. So, I mean, maybe I could have listed them for more. I actually thought I was listing them on the high side, knowing they would go on sale at some point.
Now you have something. One of your biggest sales is from that same seal. So, how many items did you? So this was like a bulk buy she did for $300.
Mm-hmm.
How many items have you sold already now?
5 or 6.
Only 5 or 6 items sold out of 3 contractor bags full. And how much have you made combined?
I've more than doubled my money already.
Yeah, already on 5 or 6 items. So pretty good deal. She left me behind. And so then she found some sweet men's vintage and then just like laughed while showing me each piece.
It's true. I did.
And then she slapped me and ran away. It was weird. So
it's a bit excessive.
I know. Well, that's what I thought. Excuse me. Anyway, anything else?
No, I don't think there was anything special about
them.
They're
cool red cowboy boots. What's
well, I mean, they're cool vintage basic cowboy boots. I think it's just because they're red.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. You don't find red all the time.
All right. Now Tommy's talking about like mints and chocolates on the pillows.
Listen, now you're pushing it. I do give like spray for the calming spray for the pillow. There's hand sanitizer.
We need to get mints though and get our faces on the packaging. How cool would that be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus
How cool would that be?
Not.
How cool would that be?
Not.
Cool.
Like how cool would that be?
Shut up.
I'm on it. I'm on it, Katy. I'm on it.
Awesome.
I'm on it.
Laura's gonna come through for me. I know it.
Lori knows how to do mints. She's done custom mints. She knows where they come from.
We're talking chocolate mints. Okay. Next up. All right, this one, I just sold this yesterday, I think. So I just wanted to say, I always pick up, like anytime I find some really cool, like Martin Luther King or Black History Month or things like that. I do really well with that stuff, the vintage.
Really cool Black Americana
history
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, this is Queen Nefertiti, so it has nothing to do with Americana, but
that's true. Yeah. Egyptian.
But just a really cool, and you can see like this big, I don't know if this
what
is
is
like
that? I thought that was
like a wear line.
the light.
No, it's like I don't know if
it's a
like,
bleach line.
I don't know if it's a mistake in the printing, maybe even. I don't know. But because generally this wouldn't bleach, so it doesn't really necessarily make sense. But I picked it up. I only paid like $10 for it. Pretty sure I got this from yesterday's fits, and it sold for the price you see there, $97.99. But I think it's really cool. I love it. So I always pick this stuff up. This is, you can see the Caribbean Dream.
Caribbean Dream.
Yep. You'll see these these tags on a lot of 90s stuff, and they're always made in like the Dominican Republic or something. So not everything made in the US that's vintage, guys. All right, you're up.
So I show this because this is not what it sold for. This is one of my Thrilling sales. It sold on Thrilling for $99.95. Again, nothing super fantastic. This was before Photo Room, so I've had this for quite a while. I picked this up for maybe a couple of dollars. I've had this for quite a bit. It did sell once before for like $35 and it got returned. So I relisted it, but it sold for $99.95. See, they call that, Glencraft is a lingerie brand. This is not a lingerie item. It's a heavy cotton, and it's actually kind of a stiff cotton. Nobody would wear this as lingerie. It's kind of just a strapless sundress, and that's how I marketed it. It's very cute. It's got a cute pattern on it. If you get closer to the pattern, it's got this kind of like little rodeo pattern, which is funny because I had the cowboy boots last, but it's got this like little horseshoes,
it's like a neon
looking. Yeah, that's why I said that in the title. Neon rodeo, like horseshoes and a saddle, and it's kind of cool.
A game of horseshoes. Okay, little learning moment here. Tell us, what does this tag tell you?
It just tells you it's made in the USA and it's union
does this
made.
help you date it?
It does. I don't have the chart in front of me right now, but yes, depending on what those union tags look like, you can date it whether it has the copyright down in the bottom left, whether it has the copyright or not, whether it's all blue, whether it's blue and red. The way that tag looks, you're going to see that on a lot of items. It's guaranteed it's going to be a vintage item if it's in something, but based on what the stamp is on the union made item is going to tell you what decade it's from.
So anytime you find a union tag, I guess a good thing to do is
you can just Google union tags,
and you'll find. And when I do that kind of stuff, not with union, but like just with any kind of tags, I will click, once I do my search terms, I will click on images because a lot of times that will.
Yeah. Well, the other thing you can do too is if you can always search in the Boss Facebook group and look up for Vicky's Vintage Vibes. I did a whole post about dating using union tags.
Right, cool.
It's an older post, but it's there somewhere in the Boss group too.
All right, cool.
And Allison's comment made me laugh. When I stayed, I got an Ativan and a glass of water. That was because we were trying to shut you up and knock you out.
Oh, yeah, that's not true. She thinks she's being funny. We've never shut up Allison. Never. All right. Next up for me, I love this shirt. I don't buy a ton of Disney stuff. Like, I'm not a big Disney person.
It's cute.
I will buy some, but I really like this one. And I like the little hiking shirt. And this one's for Yellowstone. So actually, I always pick up Yellowstone stuff anyway. I love
Yellowstone anything.
Yeah, I love, and it's not because of the show. Nobody's buying a mini Yellowstone shirt because of the Yellowstone show.
Probably not.
But any of these like kind of nature tea adjacent outdoors, national parks, kind of nature stuff sells really well. If you go into Walmart nowadays or Target, you will see in some of their like retro t-shirts, there's a lot of like national park t-shirts and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like hiking and camping and all the words that you don't like. People's help when you have shirts,
when they tell you what to do. That's totally different.
T-shirts that tell you what to do.
Anyway, I love the shirt. It's like a long sleeve t-shirt, but it's odd where it's kind of like shaped like a sweatshirt. How it's like,
but it's a t-shirt
at the bottom. And I sold this for the price you see there, guys. $139.99. I've had it for a couple of months. I
didn't even think I've had it that long.
I've sent out offers for $100, but I sold it for $140. I paid like $20 for it. I think it's adorable. And that's my Disney story. All right, what's this?
This was something Katy picked up for me when she was doing some sourcing. She's like, "Oh, I think you'd like this," and I think you paid $10 for it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe $10-15.
It did not sell for the price you see there. I did take an offer for $95. So that sold for $95. It even had a little stain on it. So it's a suede / sweater.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like, it's got the suede like yoke, like the shoulders and a little suede in the front, but it's sweater material. The whole thing is sweater material. It probably would have benefited from a great sweater shave, but I'm too freaking lazy. So I did not sweater shave it.
That's crazy. I love sweater shaving. It's like, it's so zen. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
We got a lot of dogs right now and they get real yippy. I love nothing more than a good sweatshirt that's like covered in pills, because it's like this transformation and you just like go, and then when you're done, it's like brand new. It's awesome. And then you get to empty
a waste
the
of
thing,
time.
so it's like very satisfying.
Waste of time.
Very satisfying. You get to see all the stuff that came off. She's like, it's a waste of time. And then she sends out gross pilly stuff.
Somebody still paid $95 for that gross pilly thing, didn't they? And you know how long it took me to prep it? 0 time.
Whatever. Anyway, anything
Same
else
thing with wrinkles.
And you didn't even have to pay for it, because I'm pretty sure I didn't even get any money from you for it.
Probably not.
Well, because it's like most of the time, if I'm just like buying stuff for her, it's like I'm not going to be like, okay, now hand over X amount of dollars. It's like I picked it up for her. So
same.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Next up for me is this awesome 3D emblem motorcycle t-shirt. This is not, I don't believe it's a Harley branded shirt. But it's from Doc's Performance V Twin. I don't know, some motorcycle place.
It's a crotch rocket place, not a Harley place. Although
But
that
the
kind of
bike
looks
is
like a
the
Harley.
bike's like
under
a
it.
Harley.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it's not a lot of the 3D emblem stuff is specifically Harley. This one was not. But I paid about $50 for this one. I have it priced really high. I've sent out lots of different offers, and so I'd sent out an offer for $150, and they accepted. I think I've had this for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months at the most. But of course I picked it up because it's kind of the all over print with the lightning bolts all over it. So it's pretty cool. And I mean, come on, man. This is like high art, dude.
It's something, all right. Yeah, Dana says that wrinkles make me insane. Dana, I have a steam cleaner that I transported in our move just for you because you're the only person that uses the steamer.
Well, because I just wash my stuff, and then I hang it directly from the dryer, like right as it's done drying. So that's kind of how I don't need to use a steamer. But I agree with Dana. I do not like wrinkles in my stuff. I want my pictures to look.
I don't care.
I want my pictures to look good because I take pride in my work, guys.
I do not. Clearly.
I take pride.
I don't care.
And I love America, which Vicky does not. Okay.
Next
up,
douche.
Your turn.
So this time, okay, so this is what I'm going to show. This is my daughter modeling this dress because it was something that just I could not get photos of it not modeled.
Yeah.
It was not working out properly. Now, of course, we took these photos outside and then used Photo Room to get rid of the background, but you get the gist of, the details of the dress and the fit. And my daughter is super tiny. But I paid $4 for this dress, and it sold for the price you see there, $177.06. Plus, the buyer paid $85 to ship it to Australia. It actually cost me only $30 to ship it because I think I put it in at 5 to 6 pounds, and it was really under 4 pounds.
Wow, nice.
So it went first class international, and they paid for priority, which there's no difference in speed or handling. It's just so I wasn't refunding the difference. So it sold for $177. I think these type of dresses I would love to sell for even more if I had a professional photographer take pictures of these, which I don't. I'm not one. Neither is Crystal. This type of dress would sell for a lot more if you staged it properly and put it, with the bustle underneath it and all that kind of stuff. It would sell for more, but I just don't have the patience to do that. And I don't pick them up often enough for it to be worth it.
There's our old car. How's it make you feel?
I don't care.
You don't care? You're over it?
I don't miss the
You were
old
sad
car.
for 2 seconds. Now we love our new car.
Almost missed the old house, but we've only been out of the house for, let's see.
Yeah, but every day you're like, I love our house.
I do. I love this
our
house. I really love this house. Our old house already sold. He sold it in 2 weeks. 2 weeks after we moved out, he sold it in 72 hours, I should say. And it sold for over asking. His asking price was $500,000.
Yeah. It was really weird because we saw the listing and he had the whole inside of the house repainted, and we're like, why? Why would you spend thousands of dollars to have somebody paint your
in this market? You don't
like
need
nobody
to.
cares, and it was fine when we left. Anyway, whatever. All right. Next up for me is this cool Tiny Toons t-shirt.
I like that one.
I really like it a lot too. I've already had this for a few months, 4 or 5 months. I paid up a little bit for it. I think I paid like around $80 for it tops, maybe 70, $80. Got this from Yesterday's Fits. Just a really cool all over print t-shirt. This was like a TV show. I think it was only on for a little while. I don't think it was on for a very long time, like a couple
Tiny
years.
Toons in the 90s. It was so cute.
But really cool shirt. And I had sent out offers, or maybe somebody sent an offer to me, but it sold for $200. So I paid like $80, sold for $200. And I've had offers for a lot less, but I never wanted to go below $200. So paid $80 at the most and sold for $200. Just a really cool. This is kind of one of those things. It's definitely a nostalgia buy for somebody, but it also is a really cool design shirt and great colors on it. So
I'm going to pause this for 1 second. As soon as you're done with that, did you say how much you sold it for?
I sold it for $200. Okay. So it's
Liz is purposely
Yeah.
Sending me videos mid-show to see if I'm going to play this. I'm pretty sure.
Did she tell you to play it?
She did not. I don't know if I should.
Okay, so you probably shouldn't play it unless she tells you to play it.
There's a video of Liz from ThriftCon in Denver.
Okay. So
dare I play it?
I just said
it's 7 seconds.
Do not play it unless she tells you to play it.
All right, fine.
That's silly. Anyway, next up for you. Let's See, guys, she can't not look at her phone
I can't.
during the show. She can't do it. It's an
Make sure
addiction.
keep it in another room.
I've taken it away from her before, and she gets real mad.
I'm a grown ass adult.
It doesn't appear that you are because you cannot give undivided attention to our show. Go ahead.
This was a bins find. This is the kind of stuff that the bros leave behind at the bins. It's a lightweight jacket. It's not a windbreaker, but it is a lightweight jacket. It's almost like a sailing jacket as far as the style. I paid maybe $3 to $4 for this at the bins. And that's it. That's what it sold for.
Yeah. Speaking of sailing jackets, remember when Nautica and Tommy used to sell for good money? Those were the days.
Back in the day.
Those were the days. All right. Tiny Toons. Aaron says Tiny Toons had one of the best songs to memorize every country. Are you sure that wasn't Animaniacs? I never watched Tiny Toons, so I just remember Animaniacs had similar songs that I thought were awesome, but I could be wrong. I do have
Yeah,
an
and this
Animaniacs
jacket's not even vintage. That's the thing. PBR stuff.
Oh, yeah. Anything
and NFR stuff. Pick it up.
rodeo you're gonna sell, especially if it has a good graphic. So all right. Next up. So this t-shirt, I mean, this isn't even anything special. I actually was, when it sold, I'm like, oh, I priced it for that much. I think I just priced it so high because it's from the 80s.
Man, you can still see your one
I
star
know, right? It's so
right on the
annoying.
top.
Oh, by the way, this guy totally apologized to me. Speaking of, last time we did a show, or a couple times ago, totally apologized to me and was like, I will revise my review. And then he never did. And then I reached out to him and asked him, can you please go ahead and do that? And then he never responded. And I even sent a removal request, but Etsy will not remove something, even though they can see our conversation and he said that they won't remove it because he didn't do anything that was against their terms of service. And that's pretty much the only reason that they will remove feedback. So it's a real freaking bummer. Anyway, so this t-shirt's a small St. Louis Cardinals 1987 World Series t-shirt. And I mean, I couldn't have paid more than $15 tops for this t-shirt. I priced it really high and I sold it for $89.99. So not too shabby.
It's got a good graphic though.
It's all right. It's
all right.
It's all right. Okay.
This one is nothing special, and as a matter of fact, these photos are probably not that great. This is again pre-photo room. It's just a beige trench coat. I just wanted to say this was a Poshmark sale, and I only grabbed it on eBay to show you like what it was because Poshmark I can only show you like one screen. I took an offer for $120, which is like a big sale on Poshmark because those people are cheap asses. And this was also another bins find. So again, I probably paid because of weight, maybe $5 or $6 for this. And it sat for a while. I think I've had it for about a year.
I mean, based on the background stuff on this.
Yeah, I've probably had it for about a year because we started using bulk edit from Photo Room just over a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I paid $5 or $6. It sold for $120. I'm cool with that.
All right. Next up is this Tampa Bay Lightning sweatshirt. This is an NHL hockey sweatshirt. And I tell you guys all the time, I love all of like the t-shirts and sweatshirts from either pro sports or college sports. And actually hockey is probably my favorite just because everything's always NFL and NBA, NFL especially, like it's just kind of everywhere. So when I find anything NHL, I'm kind of excited about it. And so I got this, I listed it.
I feel like that's also a team that you don't see a ton of merch for.
I mean, anyway, I don't know about that, but I have no idea. But I paid like $20 for it at yesterday's Fits, and it actually sold within a couple of days. It was not.
No, you didn't have that for long at all.
It never went on sale, and so I sold it for $99.99.
All right, Liz, can I play your video that you sent to me in the middle of the show just to mess with me? I didn't know if it was playable.
Yeah.
She sent a video. It's 7 seconds long.
Well, we got to wait for her to respond now. It's on the delay. So, yeah, I was telling her, Liz, you can't just randomly start playing a video that somebody private messaged you on our show without knowing what you might be saying in it.
She said I can play it.
All right. She said, sure. There you go. I hope whatever text is on there is appropriate.
That's all she said.
Because you showed your entire screen. Just
I
saying.
said 6 dogs will lose their shit if they hear me awake.
All right, just making sure.
That we were texting in the morning yesterday. Liz said, "Sure, you're in trouble for checking
Now
your
turn
phone."
your phone over.
See, I am. Thanks, Liz. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, my friend.
Ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Anyway, pick up stuff, man. Pick up all the NHL stuff. Always pick it up. It's always going to do well, especially if you can get it at a good price. So, all right, next up.
So I picked this up on our last sourcing trip to California. In fact, it was right outside of Whittier. And when we went to see Deb and Mel and went sourcing, and this was also the gift that, had it been a relatively inexpensive or moderately priced thing, I probably would have given to my friend Corey for her birthday, except I don't like her that much.
Not that much.
I don't like her that much.
This was the place is called Thrifty Land, and their logo's like Disneyland.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I paid up for this. I paid $60. It was
like 80.
60 or 80. I'm not sure which. And it was for the purse and the wallet, if you scroll down. And both were new without tags. And I had a customer, I've had them for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
And so a customer messaged me and asked if I would take an offer, because I don't put best offer on my stuff because I have sales and I'm always sending offers. I don't want to deal with all these low ballers, so I don't. So somebody sent me a message and asked if I would take 175. And I said, yes, I would take 175. That's a very reasonable offer. And that's something that I probably would have sent out on offers to likers.
Yeah.
So it sold for 175.
Very good.
Not an enormous profit because I paid 80. Had I paid like $5 and sold it for 175.
I mean, you definitely paid up quite a bit, but it's a really nice bag.
It's cute. And it's actually, Loungefly always sells well. Aristocat stuff sells well because there's not a lot of it. And there's a lot of people that are Aristocats fans. And Loungefly plus Aristocats, if you look up, all of them sell very well because I think there's very limited production for that. I mean, you can get everything's Mickey and Minnie, right? Yeah. Lilo and Stitch. There are certain, Disney characters that are oversaturated, and Aristocats is not one of them. Alice in Wonderland, Aristocats, even though Alice in Wonderland isn't quite Disney, it's still also made by Loungefly. Stuff is made by Loungefly. That type of stuff sells really well.
And when we were there, we didn't actually go to Disneyland, but we went to downtown Disney. And it was funny because there were so many, like, I swear all of like the tweens and teen girls, like all of them had the little backpacks on.
Yeah. Little Loungefly backpacks.
Yep. So
almost all of them.
It was ridiculous. All right. Next up, I think I showed this last show we had. So weekend before last, I had just gotten this at yesterday's Fits. And, Jesse's always really fair with his pricing, but I definitely pay up for some stuff. And, but for whatever reason, so occasionally he'll give me like a crazy deal on something. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so this one, he was like $20. And I'm like, heck yeah. And so I listed it, and it honestly was listed less than a week, I think. And it sold for the price you see there, $199.99. And I paid $20 for it. So that was a really nice flip right there. But
good band.
Very much.
I don't hate all 90s music. Hype and really like Bush.
See, this is a 90s shirt, but look, double stitch. It's not always gonna be single stitch, guys. I'm sorry to tell you.
Anything with the giant tag is a good one.
Yeah.
That giant tag.
Yep. And I did, and this is one of the things too, is I found like all the other comps and the other listings that were out there to make sure it was a legit shirt, that it was the same tag that all the rest of them had, and the same look, and it was. So
well, this has been a good one for me.
Real good flip. All right. Next.
This
is a cool sale.
So this shirt, or this sweatshirt, actually came from that big lot that I paid $300 for all the items. This actually sold within 24 hours of me having this listed. This is a vintage 1950s Champion. Scroll down to have the tag. 1950s Champion sweatshirt, Penn State. And that Nittany lion, that lion on the front, is all like velvet flocked. Now, if somebody had washed this more than once, the velvet tends to go away. It washes right off. In this case, the velvet was still perfect. It was actually in near perfect condition. It felt like dead stock, except there was a spot on it right there that looks almost like a sweat stain.
I don't know where I'm looking.
Second or third photo. Right there, to the left of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Yeah. So but I actually was able to get that out with like a wet wipe after it had been photographed. I just didn't say anything about it in the listing, and I shipped it, and I sold it to what was her name?
Sam Ronson.
Yeah, Sam Ronson in Hollywood in California. She is a DJ. She was actually probably most infamous. She's a great DJ, and she's also a clothing designer and has a clothing line.
Just most
Not
known.
infamous, but she was probably most known for dating Lindsay Lohan when Lindsay Lohan was a complete hot mess.
And
in
I'm
the
sure there's probably
early
people who
2000s.
actually know her as a DJ as well. But
Yeah, she's a pretty hot DJ. And so it shipped to her and sold it to her directly. Not that I know who that person is. I recognized the name and did a little little stalker recon, but based on her address and all that kind of stuff.
My son just committed to that.
Oh.
My son just committed to Penn State.
Oh,
Wow!
very cool.
See,
Very cool.
Lori's son is a superstar that got accepted to I think like 30 colleges, and
he
just
plays the
picked
hockey,
Penn
right?
State. He plays the hockey.
Yes.
He's a really smart, super cool kid.
Yep.
Not that I've met him, but he's got to be your kid because he's your kid. But
Yep.
He's pretty
the
cool.
smart part, I know, because you share a lot.
Pretty cool.
He's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
He's got some really cool hair.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he does.
He's got this crazy curly mop of hair. It's like bigger than it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Anything else on this one?
No, I'm just super psyched. It was
I
a
was
really
very
good
jealous
sale.
of this one.
This was when I was digging through, most of the stuff that I picked up was a bunch of old lady stuff, but I believe she went to Penn State because she had a handful of vintage Penn State sweatshirts, and this was just one of them.
Yeah.
This was the best, don't get me wrong. But yeah, a lot of it was like old lady sweatshirts, but this
And
I
it's
found
very small sweatshirt, but it's like she's tiny, and that's the thing. There's lots of people with smaller stature who are very into the vintage. So don't hold yourself back by not picking up smaller items because it still can sell for a lot of money.
Yep.
All right. Next up, I have this awesome Universal Studios
Oh, I like
sweatshirt.
this one too.
So this is one that I kind of felt like when I bought it, I knew not that I was overpaying, but I'm like, I had an emotional attachment because it's a movie sweatshirt all over print. It's just very cool. And so I paid $80 for it, even though I wasn't really sure I was going to be able to make much money on it over the top of that. So I've had it for a while because I haven't been willing to go below. I think 150 was like my bottom amount that I was willing to let this go for. And even with 150, I mean, paying $80 to make 150, you got fees and everything else. It's like,
and you do free shipping.
I just love it. It's just a really cool sweatshirt. And I did get this from yesterday's fits, and somebody bought it on Etsy and they paid the price that you see there, $224.99. So I'm glad I picked it up because I love this kind of stuff. It's just like, I mean, you guys have seen my office. You saw if you watched our tour or our old shows that we used to do. I love movies. So I just liked having it in my store. But
you just like to have the cool stuff sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm actually really happy that I did make some good money with it. Again, paid $80, sold it for $225. So nice little flip. All right. Next up for you.
This was
a
good sale. This actually didn't sell for that. It sold for $350. And this also sold within a couple of weeks of it being listed. I talked about this a few weeks ago. This was a bins find. This was when I found a whole bunch of t-shirts after the bros had already gone through the bins. I found this and a bunch of other t-shirts on the bottom.
I'm really surprised about it. Some of the other ones were like women's t-shirts.
They're women's, but they're still vintage rock tees.
This one, I'm like, I don't understand how this got overseen. It's crazy.
There were a couple of Tool shirts. There was a Primus shirt, and then there was a bunch of girls rock band shirts. And I've sold a bunch of the girls ones. This is a completely trashed, destroyed, thrashed. There's a bad repair made. Crystal did not make that repair. It was already there. I mean, this is like, look at this thing.
Yeah.
I paid 50 cents for it based on the weight,
Yeah.
75 cents. I took an offer for $350. There are a couple that have sold for more, not much more, but in better condition. And then there is one listed for like $1,500, which nobody's ever going to sell it for $1,500. And the one that's listed for $1,500 is in better condition as well. So I was pretty happy to have paid under $1 and sell it for, $350 pretty fast too. Because I'm not the t-shirt bro, right? So the algorithms are not, favoring my store for selling vintage t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it was like seen and sold as quickly as it did, I'm pretty psyched about that one.
Yep. Very, very good. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, next one for me. Here's a Grailed sale
Wow.
that I did. This wasn't this last week, but the week before. This
Oh,
is
it's a
actually a
bundle.
bundle.
Okay.
This is actually a bundle. And so I find this happens more often on Grailed than any other platform where somebody's like, hey, how much would it be for these 3 shirts? And so I find that it's just easier to just create one listing than sit there and be like, hey, offer me this much on this one, this much on that one. And so I'll just make a quick listing and have them buy it that way. And so he wanted these.
Can you see the 3 shirts? Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to show them.
Okay,
He
I
sold me
didn't know.
these 3 shirts. Actually, you can see my price is $116,000. I was supposed to be 160. And it was 160, and then 20. It actually went to Canada, so it was actually, this is showing the price plus the shipping, so it was $20 shipping. Anyway, really good deal. Again, vintage tech. I always pick that up. This one I had just listed the day before. It's just a really cool. It's Daryl Johnston. Is that who it is? Johnston. I think there's a T in it, from the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
in the 90s.
I was thinking Johnson.
It was like some. No, it was
a baseball player.
No, this was like a campaign in the 90s with some. It was like some breeding thing. Anyway, so and
some
then
breeding thing.
Reading thing. Reading.
I heard breeding, right?
Yeah.
Breeding.
Like they're breeding.
You're all
What is-
disgusting. You're disgusting. Anyway, and then this this cool
Apparently, we're all deaf.
and then this UNLV like student government t-shirt. So this t-shirt I actually paid $0 for, because this was when we had gone to a state sale and I scored like 11 vintage t-shirts and Vicky paid like 50 cents a piece for them. So yes, technically it cost 50 cents, but for me it cost 0.
Mhm.
So nothing into that one. This t-shirt was I think I paid like $15 for, and then I probably paid like $10 for this Microsoft one. So $25 all in, and then sold for 180 to Canada, which I think it probably cost me like $15 to ship 3 t-shirts to Canada. So not a bad flip.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like these bundles. They're cool. All right, next, this is your last one.
Yep, this was my last one. This was a decent Etsy sale. So I had picked up 3 of these prints in the bins. It's the one time I actually had somebody in the bins try to offer me money before I walked out. It was a girl that wanted to buy these out of my cart. Corey might remember.
Oh yeah.
She wanted to buy these out of my cart, and they were framed when I got them. But the frames were just cheap, heavy frames that didn't add any value. But I had picked up 3 of these prints. Nothing super fantastic. They're not like, very expensive prints, but they're not posters. So they were prints, and they were vintage from the 70s, and they had been framed. And I picked up 3 of them. One I sold for $125 on Etsy already.
They're different when you would go and try to look for them. They're different than a lot of the other ones that you see. I don't think, did you ever find one that had that same lettering?
No, they were all a little bit different. So I just kind of, I don't know, made up a price like I usually do. And I think I had them priced at like $99 on Mercari and $150 on Etsy. And I did free shipping, but it just shipped. They were way under a pound. I shipped them between 2 boxes flattened and then taped the boxes together and under a pound. So $85. I'd paid maybe $2 a piece for them. I paid like $3 a piece for them because it was framed art, and I think they charged like $2.99 for framed art.
Okay.
Instead of by the pound, because they were in heavy frames.
Yeah. They're really cool.
We took them home and destroyed the frames. Anyway, I made $125 on one of them and $85 on another one. I still have one left, and I paid very little for it.
Well, MC Escher's very popular in streetwear world too.
Yeah, it was a little streetwear girl that came up to me. She wasn't one of the bros.
All right, cool. All right, my last one is this Duke sweatshirt, this Duke hoodie sweatshirt, and I think I showed this on our last show as well. I'm pretty sure, and it's a nice size. It's a reverse weave, not Champion, but it's actually this Cotton Exchange brand. And but Duke, I think we talked about it's like kind of the step below Ivy League, but still pretty cool.
My friend's son goes to Duke.
Yeah, but it's definitely one of those kind of schools that people are going to be looking for clothing from, especially vintage stuff. And so I priced it pretty high. I mean, I actually didn't pay a whole lot for it. I paid like $15 for it, yesterday's fits. And nice big heavy sweatshirt. And I got some pretty low offers on some of the other platforms. And then somebody offered me $136 on Mercari. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like that's a pretty good deal. So, And it was nice because I sent it to them, and it was like the second they got it, they put in their review, and so I was able to get the money released to me. So, it was
So
nice.
Gail asked a question. The algorithm favors you if you have many things in the same category or have made many sales in the same category. Okay, so it's just a theoretical observation. I do believe if you sell consistently in the same categories, your items are going to be more seen and you will be favored by the algorithm.
Yeah.
As in, like I said, I rarely sell men's vintage t-shirts. I have a bunch, but I've said before, I'll have the same t-shirt in my store as Katy, and Katy will sell it much faster for more money, and I'll have it cheaper in my store. And I've had zero interest. It's because that's not a category that I list in consistently. It's not a category I sell in consistently. So I think mine may fall a little bit lower on the when someone's doing a search, it might just show lower in search.
I kind of feel like it has more overall. It's more to do with like regular activity in categories,
Maybe.
And so, like I have, records. I have a category for vinyl records, and I won't list anything for months. And then I'll randomly sell one, and then I'll sell more in that same week. And it's like, and I kind of feel like as soon as there's any kind of activity within a category, it just kind of triggers activity. Maybe it pushes some of your other stuff up in the search.
Yeah, if any of us knew exactly how it worked, I mean, we'd all be millionaires. There's a reason why nobody knows how the hell the algorithm works. But it would be a nice secret to crack for sure. Yeah. And Greg, I also think she sold very quickly because as she was listing that, as I said, Duke is huge. March Madness, the college team. So, yep,
very true. I have a Duke T-shirt now. It's like Duke soccer that I need to list. So, all right. That's it for our sales highlights. Should we get into our
I don't know, Dawn, should we? I'm trying to move.
I don't know why. This is what you do. This is what Vicky does. She goes, "Oh, let me move out of your way. Let me just get out of your way right now. You're literally doing nothing." All right,
let's see.
Why don't we go ahead and do our haul? So you haven't done any thrifting this week.
I haven't done any sourcing in like
last week. You did go to the bins, but you pretty much all of that got sent away to Crystal, I think. So what stuff do you have to show us?
I pulled some stuff that I didn't show from previous weeks.
All right.
Okay.
What's going on? Some whispering back there.
Whisper.
Santa's really ugly.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
He is. She just got last week, and I brought it into the house, and I'm like, this is really disturbing. Yeah.
So this is one thing I picked up. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. This is some swag from these podcast YouTubers. I already forgot the name of these people. But Mythical Society is their kind of like their peeps, like we call our boss peeps, the Mythical Society peeps. Or anyway, I bought this at the thrift store. It hasn't been used. I guess this is something that they gave out to people that paid for memberships in 2019. I paid like $2 for it, and I think I can sell it for like $100. I don't know who these people are.
What's really
weird?
The name? Rhett and Link. What's really weird?
Yes.
So I don't know anything about them at all.
I've never even heard of them, but they're huge.
I actually listen to quite a few podcasts. So, but there's so many of them. It's like you can't know everyone. But it's weird because literally the day before she asked me about this one, I saw a random video on Reddit that was like this guy who kept like adding pillows and changing his position when he was sleeping. And so he had a pillow here and then a pillow between his knees and a pillow behind his legs and the pillows between his fingers. And it was dumb. But the guy was like, I just kind of noticed because I'm like, oh, I've never seen this guy before. What's his deal? And it seriously is one of those guys.
So yeah, they're really, nothing new to the reselling. They're just, I don't know what they even talk about, honestly, but when I just bought it because I thought it looked like a cool Stein and it was, cheap. But apparently this went to their members that paid for a certain membership in 2019, and it's like limited edition membership stuff, and it resells for a lot. All their limited edition stuff does.
It's like, like occasionally we hear about like some YouTuber reseller that we've never heard of before, and they have 225,000 subscribers. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, there's
many out there. There really are really popular ones that it's like, I don't know how we never noticed.
Yeah, see, Eclectic Element said they picked up a mug a month or so ago. It sold for $85. Yeah, I have this price pretty high. I think I priced it at like $139. I don't know that I'll get that, but I mean, I'd be pretty happy to get almost anything.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, ma'am.
At what point in time are we going to be able to get some limited edition Katy and Vicky mugs.
Oh,
that we
please.
can-
Nobody wants our swag. We don't sell swag.
Well, as soon as we get those giant painted portraits done, I'm gonna have
Oh, yeah.
those actually put onto mugs as well,
Perfect.
and we'll get limited number edition of those.
I would like limited edition.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do
you
that.
want a hand signed to hand sign limited
I
edition?
absolutely want to.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Especially because I know you're so excited.
You guys are
about it.
ridiculous.
By the way, we had a friend come over last week on my birthday. She's not a reseller, and she walked in, and because she's not a reseller, does not watch our show, had not heard anything about my grand idea for these giant portraits. She came in the house, looked up at the spot on the wall, and said that we needed giant nude paintings of ourselves there.
Oh.
And I was actually very grateful because I'm like, now it's like my whole idea is sounds much
Yeah.
tamer, and maybe Vicky will accept that.
Yep. Mikey wants small copies of the portraits that will hang in the house.
There you go.
$2.99 each.
Little miniature copies that are like this big.
There you go.
You guys are freaking ridiculous.
They're really funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm showing this more for the creep factor than the factor that, I don't know what he's going to sell for, but I pulled him out of the bins. So he's cute, right? Not. I vintage.
Was he macrame Santa? What's the deal?
Vintage crochet Santa. Yeah, he's a shelf sitter and he's got his little
Ooh.
plastic shoes.
A shelf what?
A shelf sitter. Sitter. He sits on a shelf.
Gross.
Anyway. Yeah, so he's a little creepy.
Mhm.
But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get like $50 for this guy. Somebody's going to want this ugly ass thing. I don't know who. It's not me, and I don't want to keep him very long, so I may lower the price accordingly. Let's see. This actually came from that big source where I got that Nittany Lions sweatshirt. This is from that same lady stuff. This is just like a vintage, super popular right now, the whole granny square crocheted boho thing. This is from the 70s. So it's like a sweater jacket. This is also extremely pilly, but not something you could sweater shave because it would get all caught up in the sweater shaver.
I do it.
You can try it, but
Belt it, cinch it.
But it has a little belt. It's got a big wide collar. It just screams like 70s at you, right?
My
So
grandma
again, I
wore
paid
that
about
back in the day.
$3 for it. I think I have it listed for 100 and change. We'll see. We're a little bit out of season for it right now, so I bet it sells, international or on like Etsy maybe.
Mhm.
That's it. I got one more. Not one more. I have a few more. I'm going to go through and then I'll let Katie do hers. So this is another one that came from that sale. This is
It's not as soft as I thought it would be.
It's not as
soft
soft.
here. It's soft here.
this is like
I was like, oh.
this is like, Persian wool, Persian fur. They call it fur, but it's just kind of like wool. And then it's got the faux fur sleeves and collar. It's long. This is a very dark brown, satin lined. Has a little tag, made in England. It's got the little Union Jack on the tag. There we go. What I really liked about it is that it has this cool belt that goes around. Can you hold that side?
Belt it, cinch it.
It has this cool belt, and on the belt, it's like this bejeweled belt in
Very
the front.
nice. Very fancy.
So again, I paid like $3 for this on average, and I love it. If this were my size, I probably would have kept this one. I think I have it listed at like $175 or so.
So, drummer, on my birthday Tuesday night, when we had some friends over, we actually watched The Big Lebowski. And Vicky, what did you say about The Big Lebowski?
I had never watched it.
No, but what else did you say about it?
It sucked.
Yeah. She said, not funny. Dumb. Not funny. What?
Sorry about it.
Sorry that you don't know what humor is.
Yep. This one is fantastic.
What?
I'm
It was
ignoring
real fancy. Yeah, I know you're ignoring me. I'm well aware.
You want to wear this? Did you say I wish this was my size? This is actually real fur. So this is like fox fur collar on like this. It's almost like a leopard print kind of, or a zebra print. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Zebra print, I think. But this is like gold threaded. So it's like gold lame threaded.
A gold zebra. I don't think that's supposed to be a zebra. I think that's like
Tiger? I don't know.
like leopard, but it's like a weird,
It's
or just animal.
It's just
print.
random animal print-esque. Yeah. It's really cool. It's just a really cool. I probably have this price. This is 80s. You look at the super 80s, and this brand is called Rimini, like Leah Remini almost, but with eyes. So I have this priced at like 100 and change as well. This came from that same house. I would totally wear this too, Dawn, if I didn't have enormous boobs and I couldn't close anything. But yeah, I really like this too. This I paid about $3 for. It's
fancy.
It is fancy.
It's real fancy.
Let's see. Got some more 80s here.
That one.
This one, yeah, Corey grabbed this from the bins for me last week, I think.
Oh, that weighs like a ton, doesn't it?
It's not as heavy as like the Lawrence
It
Kazar
it's
stuff,
definitely heavy though.
Yeah.
but this is all beaded silk. It's a long jacket. There's no tag, but it's very much like the Lawrence Kazar stuff, but I don't think it is his.
Pretty sure Liza Minnelli would wear this.
Yeah, I feel like I need to wear this to go and like see Liberace, or maybe he would have worn it. But pretty cool. I haven't priced this yet, but again, the same thing. I'll probably price this around the $100-$150 range.
Michelle, if we ever go to Iceland, which I really would like to go to Iceland, if we ever go, Vicky will be forced to go to the Big Lebowski themed bar with me. I mean, let me take that back. I'll leave her at home. It's just
I'm not so sure which thing you're getting the eye roll for. The going to Iceland or
why would you roll your eyes at Iceland? It's beautiful.
no desire.
I'll go with her.
What?
No desire.
No, just rolling your eyes at it's beautiful, and it's actually like super affordable to like travel there.
Ooh, Major Golden Girls vibes. Michelle says, I agree, Michelle. That would have been like very.
Rolled her eyes at going to Iceland.
I know Eclectic Element said that. Major Golden Girls vibes. Yeah, that's a very, very Blanche Devereaux jacket. Okay, so this came from there. This was a good.
Go ahead.
Am I going to talk through every single thing that you sell? Because I think I may now.
It's better than looking at the phone. Go ahead.
Oh, she's freaking sassy today. It's because she has an audience to play to, a live audience to play to. This also came from that same house where I grabbed a bunch of stuff. So this is more vintage Penn State stuff. So this one is about, I don't know, 3 Perfect Seasons. I'm going to assume this is like from 1994. It's definitely 90s, but 94 or 95. And there's a couple on eBay. I think I have this priced at like 75 to 80 or something like that right now. It's not in like, it's nothing fantastic. There's not a million of them, but
Penn State is always one of those teams or one of those schools that I will price it up. It sells really well.
I don't know how many of you remember the first version of this. But I found another.
Oh my god!
This one isn't as good as the other one.
It was not quite as
But I
good.
still say price it higher.
The other one had ruffles on it, or like fringe on the sleeves. Yeah, this is a repurposed white sweatshirt that someone put the crotch of their jeans as a collar for some odd
Did the
reason.
other one have the pockets?
No,
sewn on?
no.
This
has some elbow patches that are
They're
your
the
back pockets.
The only thing that would make it better is if they actually still worked as pockets.
So this is like I don't know if this was a thing in the 80s or 90s this is probably 90s when somebody was doing this, but Jesus, this is the worst craft I've ever seen in my life. Who was doing this on purpose? I thought it was great when I found one and it sold really fast. Hideous Core, exactly, Lori. And then I found another one. I was like, Jesus, I have to get this.
Okay, will you please price this up a little more this time?
Oh, and they were Xena jeans, no less. Look at this bleach on the butt and the brand name on the elbow right there. Remember those Xena jeans?
That's funny.
God, freaking awful. I had that priced at like over 100 because the first one sold for like 70 very fast.
Yeah, because you wouldn't listen to me, man.
And then this one, this doesn't
really
have any
cool.
tags, but this is definitely 80s and 80s sweatshirt, 80s vibe. Very, I feel like this is like slightly off the shoulder flash dance style. Did you get a flash dance vibe from this one?
Yes, I had one just like that, but pink and black.
Awesome.
So this one's super cute. This is kind of like a, I don't know. I think I probably have this is a bins find. I have this priced at maybe like 75 or 85 around there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to show 3 more things and I'm done.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have a conversation with my friends while you show your shit.
Sounds good.
I don't know if I showed these a few weeks ago or not. I hope I didn't. Sometimes I get a mind blank and I can't remember if I did. But do you guys remember Soda, the brand Soda for shoes?
No.
Here's some 90s wedge heels in like the jute or the straw.
The what?
Jute.
What the heck is a
J-U-T-E. It's a type of straw. It's like woven straw. Jute. Or like just straw, whatever. Big platform wedge heels. Paid like $3 or $4 for these because they were a bins find. I have these priced at like $85, and I swear I have like 15 watchers on them already. I used to wear this kind of stuff. I don't know how I didn't break my freaking ankles. Probably because I only weighed about 110 pounds then. Big difference.
Jen, we have way too many pups here to bring any more upstairs. Way too many.
There's a lot of them.
And let me tell you, Ripley's been real naughty this weekend.
She has been.
She wants
I see Deb and Mel. They're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming. Oh, they got one
Oh,
pup.
they got one. Yay!
One pup.
They got one pup. So this is Deb. And that's
And
Mel.
now- So can we get a status report?
We're at about 75% done.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
good.
impressive.
Very, very good.
And this is little Stella.
This is Stella.
Little Stella
Real
May.
cute.
She's teeny tiny, about 4 pounds.
Yep. She's
Little
very-
itty bitty thing.
and
She's all fur.
adorable, and she's an excellent
House guest.
No, yes, that too.
She's
But I
a
was gonna
pup guest.
She's an excellent job boss.
Yes.
She keeps an eye on things. She makes sure that she feels good about what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, she's real cute.
She's a good baby.
She is. But Ripley's been being real naughty. Ripley thinks that all humans are hers. And
They
that
all
should be
belong to
paying
her.
and they should be paying attention to her at all times.
Yeah.
And only her.
There being 5 other dogs that get attention is a struggle for her.
She is struggling.
And then, but although I will say that she finally today seems to be a little bit more calm. Like she's like, okay, maybe I need to like breathe. And
She actually
sleep a little.
napped today.
Yeah,
She's-
yesterday she was up all day long.
She's a dog that, naps just as much as every other kind of dog. Maybe a little bit less than the old lady dogs because she is still a puppy. But she's generally naps for several hours in the morning and then several hours again in the afternoon. There was no nap yesterday. So she's like a toddler that didn't get their nap. And
Mhm.
she's been out of control.
Yep.
But yeah.
But these puppies are all doing great. Jimmy, they have 3 Poms. 2 of them have hind legs that don't work so good. And then there's Jimmy, and I think Jimmy's like in a whole new world right now because he's got 3 buddies who can all run around with him. And he has apparently adopted our dogs as his new pack.
Yes.
And he's left the others behind.
He left behind the diaper brigade and decided to hang out.
He's like, oh, I've got buddies and we can go outside and we can hang out together. It's pretty cool. Yeah, he even like, because normally he needs help getting on and off the couch. And this morning he decided, I'm going to take these stairs right here. They look like they'd be good for getting on the couch. And then he was like, oh, the other dogs get on the back of the couch and hang out. That looks like a good place to hang out. Next thing we know, he's back on the back of the couch. So he's been quite the independent little boy. All right.
All right, so more bins finds. These things both came from the bins. I've got some vintage 1970s Durango men's kind of like Chelsea boots.
Chelsea boots every week.
Yeah, so these are pretty cool. I'll probably list these for the $100, $150 range as well. I haven't done any comps unless comps tell me that they're worth more, but that's where I would,
Those are nice
without
shoes.
looking up where I'd put them. Yeah, they're pretty
I
cool.
like the color.
Yeah, they're that burgundy color, but they're kind of like, distressed a little bit, but in a good way. And then these boots are some really, I don't even know. So these also look very 90s, right? So they've got very 80s, 90s kind of space boot looking thing. These are suede and they're a platform, definitely a platform because like the toes here, and then they've got this weird platform. This is the brand.
Those are real bad.
Fornarina for Fornarina. I don't know. I know when I looked them up, they seem to be pretty high end. I haven't looked them up since I checked at the bins real quick.
Mm-hmm.
They just are pretty funky. I don't know what I'm going to list them for. I don't know. Maybe $100, maybe $200.
Oh, geez.
I don't know,
Yeah,
pretty
They
cool.
probably would sell for a lot.
Spock's boots. That's quite probable. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dana, I don't think they would fit your foot. They're kind of
They look
small, but
real
if they
small.
fit you, you can absolutely borrow
They
them.
look real small. Because what are you, a 7? I always forget. I should remember your
She's
shoe
like an
size
8.
by now. But yeah, they're real ridiculous.
They kind of are like a fancy moon boot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got to show.
All right.
So it's your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to start out with like a nice little pile of sweatshirts. I know that Jesse from yesterday's fits, he's been doing whatnot like every day. And he's been doing a lot of like winter wear because they have a brick and mortar store, but they also sell online. And so he kind of wants to like get rid of a lot of the cold weather stuff. Now it's getting a little warmer. So I'm like, hey, what do you got upstairs for sweatshirts and stuff in your eBay store that you want to get rid of? And so he let me go up and dig through the racks. And so I actually got a bunch of sweatshirts. I got some really cool ones. This is one of my favorites. It's like almost, I think it might even be dead stock. And it's nice big size.
It feels dead stock.
Cleveland Browns.
It's crispy.
It's very crispy. 1992 Cleveland Browns Taz sweatshirt. Everybody in the live studio audience. Stella, what do you think? What do you think? Oh, she's watching Vicky, I think, right now. Because she's kind of in love with Vicky. She loves her. But this is a really nice sweatshirt. This one, he was giving me great prices. I don't think I paid more than like $25 for it. It's a really awesome sweatshirt.
What are you gonna sell it for?
This one I'll probably put it up for $200, and at some point, depending on how long I have it, 100. But that one I'll price up because it's just such a great shirt.
Can you hear the dogs whining downstairs?
I think that's Riz, isn't it?
That's Mason.
Oh, Mason. All right. Next up, speaking of hockey, this is the Cincinnati Cyclones. Do you know what that team is? I don't know if that's NHL or like a American League, like one of the feeder leagues, or yeah. But it's actually pretty cool because it's.
I don't think it's NFL.
NHL.
Sorry, definitely not NFL.
I like the graphic though because it kind of looks like Jason from Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool sweatshirt. But yeah, it says Kick Ice and it says Cincinnati Cyclones. So it's a great graphic. It's on the Fruit of the Loom tags, definitely 90s. But this one I'll probably price it at 100 just because it's such an awesome graphic and I like the whole Kick Ice thing. But we'll see. I haven't looked it up or anything to see what this team's all about or if they're still around or what their deal is. It's 1991.
We don't know.
We don't know. All right, next up, I love this one. And this is one of those instances where Jesse gives me a price. I'm like, okay. He priced this one at $20. I love it. It's very topical, but also historical. This is on the Fruit of the Loom tags. It's 90s, 1991, August 1991. It says the party is over. You can see it's got the hammer and sickle. So
it's the fall of
if
the
anybody
Soviet
knows
Union.
their history, the Soviet Union, the collapse of the Soviet Union happened over a series of years. But in August of 1991, there was a failed coup attempt to kind of take over from Gorbachev. It failed. It was kind of the last gasp of the Soviet Union. And so this sweatshirt, I'm going to go ahead and say is commemorating that. It just says
I think you need
over.
to bring that to Rhode Island and wear that to our fundraiser for the Ukraine on Sunday.
I don't need that kind of attention. But it's a nice.
We're going to a fundraiser for the Ukraine. On Sunday.
It's a nice big size, 2XL, Fruit of the Loom. It's in. I'm pretty sure it's dead stock. Well, I did wash it, but because honestly, when it comes to some of this stuff, I would rather have it be in the best condition it can be in than be like obsessive about it being dead stock because it's not like it's a pair of $2,000 sneakers or $10,000 sneakers or whatever. But it's in great condition and again, very topical and historical. So it's true. It's super cool. $20, you guys. I will price this up for sure. So you saw that sweatshirt that I sold for Universal Studios. This is like the same design, only this is Caesars. It's pretty cool. Caesars. It's like I said, same design. It's got the patch on the sleeve. This side it says the Empire. It's got, you can see the Romans there. In the back, it says Rome. I actually bleached this because it had some yellow staining. So I went ahead and bleached it, which, by the way, it's a whole new world here at this house because we have a different washer and dryer. Our washer at home was top loading. It had a pre-soak setting. So it was a lot easier to bleach because it would actually be submerged in water and bleach and soak. And when I would bleach something, it was much more of an uniform bleach. Which comes into play when I have something that's an actual color, not just white. We have front loaders now, and it doesn't work as well. So I'm trying out bleaching in the bathtub in the spare bathroom upstairs. But anyway, so you can see this was a black collar, but it is brown because I bleached it. But whatever.
Which she knew was going to
I don't
happen.
care because I'd rather have a brown collar than yellow spots. And
You also have brown in this, so it actually goes
doesn't
with.
matter.
It
Well,
doesn't
this-
look, and it doesn't look like
The
it doesn't
threading
work.
on this was actually much darker, but it doesn't matter. It looks fine. So I don't know what I'll price this. This one I paid like $30 for, maybe 40. It's not going to be obviously as desirable as like a Universal Studio sweatshirt. So I don't know. I'll probably put it up for a couple $100 though. UCLA sweatshirt. It's definitely worn, faded. It's got some stainage on it. Yeah, get Stella. But I always do well with UCLA sweatshirts. It's definitely smaller size. It's from the 80s. I paid like $15-20 for this. I will put it up probably for 100 and hope to get at least 70. This is another awesome sweatshirt. I haven't looked it up or anything, so I don't know what the Massillon Tigers are. Anybody? Is it a college or is it a high school? Who knows? But I
She's
like
very interested in you, by the way.
Oh, hi Stella. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Stella? Anyway, just a cool design. It's
She's
kind
watching.
of it's basically kind of like a reverse weave, but it's like a totally different panel on the side. But it is definitely like in reverse weave style. But it's brown. But yeah, this one I paid like $15 for, and I'll probably again I need to look it up and figure out if it's like high school or college. So maybe I'll put it at 100. This one, of course, made me a little sad for my grandma, guys. It's very tiny, but this is Neil Diamond on tour, live at the Greek Theater, hot August nights.
She would have totally
again.
worn that.
And this is 1986 tour, sold out tour. I
Oh,
love
Kelly
this
says
sweatshirt.
Massillon is my high school.
Oh, crazy. Super crazy. Is that in Ohio or where, or Colorado or anyway, awesome sweatshirt. Love it. A little small, but again, I'm not going to pass up Neil Diamond. I mean, come on. How cool is that? So I
Price
will.
it high because he's not lasting much longer.
True. So rude. Leave me
It's
alone.
true.
You don't know
He
that.
retired. We never got to see him.
Yeah, it's very sad. My grandma definitely saw him
It's just a
live,
matter
and
of
we shared a
time.
love for Neil Diamond when I went to see her when she was very close to dying. The last few days, I did actually play some Neil Diamond for her, and she was very happy about that. And we sang Neil Diamond together. All right, I did get this shirt. Is one of the things I picked up on Whatnot. So the thing with Whatnot, you go on. You do have to, when you become a buyer, you have to enter your payment information. When you bid on something, if you win the bid, it automatically charges you, which is great. The first item that you win, it's like $4 shipping around there, somewhere around there. And then if you buy more stuff from the same seller, it's only like an additional $1 for shipping. So it's kind of nice if there's a seller that is selling a bunch of stuff that you like. So I bought like 5 things from this guy, and this was one of my favorites. It's Chinatown, San Francisco. This is an 80s t-shirt, and it says Year of the Hare. This is a really nice red color. It's kind of blown out in this video. But
Yeah, it looks more orangey on the video, but it's
1987, and it's really soft. Feel how soft it is.
That's
So I
cool.
just think it's really cool because when you think of
I'm actually Year of the Rabbit because I was born in 75, and
Yeah.
I'm Year of the Rabbit in 75.
I'm Year the Rat, I think. So this one, I mean, when you think of Chinatown, you either think of New York City or San Francisco. Those are like the 2 Chinatowns that, in my opinion, that are,
Boston, it's a big one too.
but
yeah.
I think these are like the top ones.
Probably.
Because San Francisco has a very, very large Chinese population. But just a really cool shirt, great graphic. I paid like $10 for it, I think. Maybe 12. All right. I just have a few more things. Let me see.
Oh, and we're right on track to be ending right around 3:30. So I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like even with our studio guests, we were pretty good on time.
Yeah. So this is another one I picked up on Whatnot. And this was like an additional one. So I only paid like $1 shipping for this. And I don't think I paid much for it. Nobody else seemed that interested in it. I think it's really cool because I like the rainbow. It's a horse t-shirt. It's from 1985 World Championship Palomino show. And I like the little rainbow. And it's nice. It's got a really nice fade to it. It's on the old 80s jerseys tag. There you go. Do you see how I lost the skin on my knuckle? That's from yesterday. It's somewhere on the ceiling of our garage.
Your DNA is
knuckles-
part of this
my knuckle
house
skin.
forever.
Yep, it's true. This is a t-shirt I bought from Jesse yesterday's fits that he got on Whatnot. I happen to know he got it on Whatnot for $7, which I'm super jealous. I paid him like $25. Diet Dr. Pepper. There's no stopping the taste. Great graphic. Look at the it's been washed. Look at the puffy on it. Really cool snack tea, Diet Dr. Pepper t-shirt. But again, he got it for like $7 on Whatnot.
Allison said she applied to sell on Whatnot. Am I a sellout? Probably. Yeah, so's Katy. She's going to do it
Yeah.
too.
I don't think it makes you. Why does it make
I
you
might
sell
do
out?
it. I might do it. I'm just waiting to see if the vintage female, vintage women's clothing market. I'm going to apply, so I have an account, and I'm going to start paying attention to it.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
good
don't.
for sourcing.
I don't. It's great for sourcing, and I also don't think that there is enough people watching for what I sell for me to make it to be worth my while.
Yeah,
to sell on yet.
Jesse's doing really well on it, and he really wants me
Obviously,
to get on it.
Ryan and Allie Roots are doing fantastic on it.
Yeah. So Jesse wants us to do he and I to do a joint. I guess there's a way for two sellers to do it together, and so he wants us to do a joint one together. So that's going to be really fun. I don't know when that's going to happen because obviously we're traveling here really soon. But at some point, I will definitely let you guys know. But you should be on Whatnot at the very least to be sourcing. Also, it's a great way to see what people like. This is similar to like the auctions and the live auctions that happen on Instagram. You can see what people are into by what's getting bid up and what's not.
It's really important to, we talk about if you're stuck in a rut and you're only selling on eBay and you're like, I'm only selling these vintage teacups that I sold in 1998 on eBay. And you wonder why your sales have tanked. The market changes, the way people buy changes, what people are into purchasing changes. I've said this before in our group and I got a little bit of slack for it, but the reality is that the elderly buyer or the older buyer that was buying and collecting that started on eBay in the late 90s, early 2000s, they're dying. Quite literally, that demographic is dying. They're not collecting anymore and their kids don't want their shit. So nobody is buying the same type of things then that we used to sell when we all started selling. It was easier to sell. It's changed.
I would love to just sell on eBay forever.
And eBay does not have as much of a stronghold on the market because they are not changing with the times fast enough, and they never have. So I love eBay. I'm still always going to have probably the majority of my business is going to come from eBay. But if you are not cross-posting and branching out to other platforms where the buyers are, you are going to die in the water. My prediction is eBay will be 1/10 of my business in 10 years. That is my prediction. And if I don't want to go out and get a real job in the world again, I'm too young to freaking retire. I need to change with it.
Yep.
So as much as I don't want to do social selling, I realize that this is where it's going. And that is where the buyers are going, especially for what Katy sells and for a good portion of what I sell. The younger generations are not buying from eBay.
I'm going to start out with Whatnot. I plan to start out I have a lot of old stuff in my t-shirt bins that I would never buy now that has, not that it's not cool, but it's just stuff that I'm not selling. And so I'm going to go through and pull out some of that and try selling it on there, some of the lower dollar stuff. But I do think that you don't have to be somebody with a huge following. Yes, yesterday's fits, they're doing well. And yes, Rally Roots are doing really, really well on there. But I think the stage that Whatnot's in right now, anybody can get on there. And if they are interesting and kind of put on a good show, there's ways to do giveaways. You have so many ways to be creative. There aren't so many sellers on there right now that you will get lost. And so I think anybody right now
it
has
will
an
happen
opportunity
eventually
to grow a big audience. If you have what it takes and are interesting enough. I don't know if I do, who knows? But we'll see. But I'm going to play.
There's a reason why you got MVP like 4 or 5 times when you used to do the virtual.
Yeah, because I used our audience that we already have. I'm talking about for selling, not just within the seller community. So who knows? We'll see. I'm going to try it out, but I got to try it. Plus I got these young whippersnappers like Jesse telling me I should do it. So, all right. So let's wrap this up pretty quick here. I got a handful left. Somebody must have worked like in the film industry in some respect because Jesse had a bunch of these really cool, t-shirts. This one is Lighting from Hollywood, Mole Richardson. It's got the really cool, light on the front of it. Studio lighting. I'm actually got a couple of these super worn and faded, but I think they're really cool. They're on these collegiate Pacific tags from the 80s. I think I paid like $10 for, I got 2 of these, $10
Yeah,
a
see,
piece.
Kimberly said you did great on that platform selling teas. It was the virtual flea that was on Instagram.
This one is, it says Wilmington Collision Course, and it says Film Crew, Detroit. I don't know anything about these. I haven't researched them or anything, but this is some sort of film thing. This looks like a
Yeah, Michelle says Mole Richardson is iconic. It's
old
true.
Fruit
I've
of the
actually
Loom tag.
sold some product from there, not t-shirts, but
Yeah. This is like a Union t-shirt, but this is AMCAT Cinema Services. You can see that. So these obviously came from somebody who worked in the film industry, but in
some
Detroit.
lighter or rigor.
Because
Yeah.
2 of them say something about Detroit on them. But yeah, so pretty cool. And then I just have a couple of things left. I just like the design on this, and it's clearly some sort of probably vintage tech.
Ultra media.
Media. It says, I think it's ultra media. I think it's just like a weird the lettering design, or ultra meta. I don't know. It's because it's not even how you spell meta. So who knows? It looks like a little mushroom or something. But this is like super soft too. And I paid like $5 for that. Vicky will probably like this one. VH1.
Oh my god, I love this
Rock
one.
Across
America.
America. It's a little yellow. It's got some yellowing on the underarms there, but I did.
I remember
bleaching
that.
it. Yep. This one I paid like maybe $10 for. And then saving the best for last. This one, it's a Sneakers movie tee. Remember the movie Sneakers? I actually used it when I do like those 2 or 2 posts in our Boss Facebook group. I used a picture from the movie Sneakers. This is really, the lighting in here is really blown out. That's supposed to be red. You can kind of see it. Anyway, there we go. Sneakers. It's that 1992 movie. Actually, there's River Phoenix in it, but it's also got a bunch of old dudes.
Sin City Rick, which level eBay store do you guys have? We both used to have anchor stores. We have 2 different stores. It's 2 different businesses. We both used to have anchor stores, and when eBay changed
Premium.
changed it, we dropped down to premium again because premium is only $60 a month for up to 10,000 items. So
there's no reason to have anchor. Anyway, the back of it says sneakers. It's a sneakers definition. 1, a team of specialists recruited to infiltrate high-level security systems and
locate.
I can't read it. Locate their weaknesses. 2, a major release from MCA Universal Home Video. 3, tennis shoes. Anyway, I just think that's a cool shirt. And then the last thing I have to show, this one I paid up a bit for. I believe I paid $100 for this t-shirt. I haven't seen
any of these, by the way. This is why I'm still paying attention.
This one is from the release of the Mission Impossible t-shirt in the 90s. The first one, 1996, the Tom Cruise movie. Again, the lighting in here is kind of blowing this out, but it is a very deep red. This is like almost brand new shirt. It says
I would
Mission
say
Impossible.
this is new. This also feels like dead stock. It's got like factory folds in it still.
Yeah, and then look at the back of it. Is really cool. And this one, let's see, it's
single stitch.
Yep, in the USA, extra large, great size. But yeah, I pay $100 for it. I think I could sell this for like $300.
That's pretty cool.
Apple shirt. Yep. So that's it. That is all I got for you guys.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. Now we're gonna go hang out, maybe eat some food.
Say hi. Corey is still off screen on
I know.
purpose. There she is. So we're going to go and hang out and play some cornhole and throw some food on the grill. And yeah,
we're going to do some eating, some cornhole. And,
Monica said, thanks for the purple. I like the purple too. I haven't done it in a long time. I just threw some Manic Panic on the ends and in the top.
Yeah. So. She threw some Manic Panic on her hair, on the kitchen, on the bathroom counter,
or all around the house, pretty much.
And then she was pretty sure that she ruined our house. And but we were able to.
Who puts a super porous white countertop in a bathroom? Horrible builders. Stupid builders, honestly.
Anyway,
makeup would have stained it.
All right, guys. We will talk to you later. And like I said, most likely, I'm going to go ahead and say most likely we're not going to have a show next Sunday. Never say never, but don't expect that we will. If we do, it'll be a very pared down version of our show. I'm going to say most likely not, though. But otherwise, we will see you when we get back. Well, it's just when you're vacationing or traveling, it's like you're in a different headspace. You're not
It's true.
thinking about your regular everyday stuff that you do. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it, and we will see you at some point in the next week or two.
Oh, Kelly likes my purple hair too.
All
Hi,
right.
Kelly. I missed your earlier comments.
Okay. All right, hair flipping mama. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.